So you're done pretending, playing a persona, a character that you have crafted carefully to protect you for so many years, and you have finally come to the point where you're ready to move forward and let it go. It is something absolutely terrifying, but at the same time presents something beautiful and wonderful. To understand what it is this persona has done for us is to also understand the pains that we live with. You see, maybe throughout our childhood, adolescence, early elementary school, early high school, whatever the scenario was, whatever the period was, something happened that perhaps was overt. It directly let you know that there's a part of you that we don't want to see anymore. Society says, get rid of this, change it, maybe not directly, maybe indirectly. Or perhaps you witnessed something that said, oh, you know what, I can't show them that side of me. If I do, then they're going to reject me, they're going to hate me, and I won't have any friends, or I won't have any peers, I won't be in relationships, my parents won't even want me anymore. There was a story crafted around an event that you experienced or you witnessed something happen. And it was multiple events, not like maybe one, unless that one event was of high state of arousal, fight, flight, or freeze. But if it was within the moderate or low state of arousal, then it takes couple moments before we start to craft and shape. And then we start to play something that says, okay, well, if I suppress these emotions and more so push these ones forward, okay, well, I can blend in. And that served you at one point. That helped you. That allowed you to make friends. Maybe that allowed you to get a job. Maybe rejecting your emotions and just being fully disciplined and head down, work allowed you to build a good nest egg for yourself. Maybe you can provide for your family. All wonderful things. But they come at a heavy cost. And what is that cost? The soul and your heart have been neglected. And we have just sat in the state of the ego, only in our conscious awareness. And everything we don't want to deal with, we've pushed into the unconscious. You know, oftentimes I also hear that, well, this event that happened was painful, it was a bit traumatic for me, and I'm left with emotional knots, but I can't tend to them right now. I need to tend to them in the future, which is a fair argument. Maybe you're dealing with a lot of stress. But the unfortunate thing is time will pass by, and that once suppressed emotion becomes repression to where you no longer know it's there. Or I should say you no longer are consciously aware, but it sits within you. And it can influence, it can warp, distort. You'll be living a fragmented life. But for those of you seeing this, you can feel something within you calling forward and saying it's time to rip this off and to be as authentic as I can. That inner spirit. Because within us, we have the power of the universe, we have the power of God right within you. It's just buried below a lot of stories, a lot of beliefs and ideas. And it's just something within it. I can't say how or why, but there's always this calling within at some point to start peeling all this off. And that's where you're at right now. And you want to seize this opportunity. How do you begin to peel this off? That's the first question. How do we peel this off? Well, we need to first have the intention that we are going to contend with difficult memories, traumas, emotions that are heavy, that we've been rejecting. We need to bring them forward and contend with them and accept them as a part of who we are. But we can let go of stories that no longer serve us today. And for all of you, there's a story you've been living by that you feel at this point it's worn out, that it's not something you need. It is a disservice. And it's time to remove it. And you can do it with ritual. It's important to have this be sacred and important, not trivial. If you have yourself a journal, you can write this down. What is the story you've lived by? And you can write down that story, and below that story you can say, it is time to let this story go. And you can reflect and sit on it. I'm a big believer in micro to macro. Small changes will lead to big changes. I know all of us want this huge monumental shift, which is great. And when it comes to us, wonderful. But we need to live day by day, doing small actions that over time will compound into big, big changes. And so by writing that down, reflect on it day to day, you begin the process of building that courage, because we need to build that courage to contend with it. Once you bring it forward, it's very important that you tackle this with curiosity, adventure, compassion, love, and a firm hand. I always mention these 5 things when it comes to internal work and self-discovery, because we quite often, and I've said this from my own personal experience as well, we get angry and we reject and we get disgusted by certain areas of ourselves. We need to change our interpretation, change our approach. Because otherwise, whatever we reject within us, we are going to reject within other people. And if someone reflects something within us that we don't want to contend with, that person can become enemy, when that person maybe could be the most wonderful person in your life. And it happens. Or maybe he was just an innocent bystander and he had to feel the wrath of our anger. And what happens over time as we peel back these layers, you're moving towards an integrated life, whereas much of the unconscious is conscious to you. And what happens when you do that? You'll feel calm, shaken less by events. You'll be able to experience and feel life again, not disassociated, not just living with stimulus, just going from one dopamine high to the next. You can sit and be with yourself and enjoy and love your company. You can start to feel visions for your future. And what starts to happen, this is something truly magical, and I can't explain how it happens, but it's happened to me and it's happening to my clients, where when you start to peel back those layers, there's something outside of us that rewards you. And it will give you your own personal North Star to look at and move towards, whatever that is. And it's truly beautiful because it is fingerprint designed for you. So I really urge for you to contend with these emotions, and having this moment right now where you're feeling tired of this old story and you want to just get rid of it, take advantage of it. Jump into the state of being a nobody, as I call it. And by nobody, remove your titles and what you expect of yourself, what you think people should see. Let it go for just some time. Couple days, couple weeks, abandon it and see how you feel. Journal. Reflect on that journal. And watch as the days go by and the weeks go by, you will start to feel better. And then at that point, you can begin to optimize. If you also want more deeper work with this, you want to be a part of my community, you can click that button below, sign up to my monthly newsletter. I'm also going to send you my 3-step identity rebuilding guide. It's a toolkit to help you navigate throughout this process. Something I built out to use for myself when I went through my identity loss. And now I'm gripped by passion, gripped by purpose. And for me, this is divine purpose to pass it off to you, and I pass it off with great pleasure. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next video.